Okay, I haven't been on live on Facebook ever. I don't really get on live on Facebook. I really forgot that Facebook even had a live because I only use Facebook for like more intimate things of people close to me. But now that I'm posting stuff that I'm posting right now, I see that actually, like I thought, I'm glad I hit dog collars. People close to me that claim and want to be around me or have been around me, not saying they want to be around me, but have gotten the chance to be around me, probably aren't the type of people that have my best interest at heart when it comes to the spiritual things that are happening in the world right now and the things that are going to come, because cause and effect is a law of the universe. And I just want to talk to some people who are commenting on my stuff, or people who are seeing my stuff and not necessarily commenting but probably feel away. So when I talk about the facts of, so I get government assistance. It's not even really about government assistance. When I'm speaking right now, I'm speaking from spirit. I don't care about any worldly thing, because I could die today. I could die tomorrow. I could have died yesterday. It's not about that. But it is about the fact of the matter that we can't continue to move on in the future with this world thinking that the way that they think towards us, towards black people. And some of y'all are commenting things under my posts that y'all think are speaking more against what I'm saying, but really it's just proving a point more to what I'm saying about how prejudiced you guys are, and how prejudice, because prejudice and racist are two different things. Because you'll probably, I'm not racist, I'm really not racist, or I know you, I'm not racist. I'm not saying you're racist, because racist means you don't like a group of race just because of their race. But prejudice, 100% you guys are. And if you're ignorant enough not to hear another person's walk of life from firsthand experience, and hear them and understand that and internalize that, and maybe even compare it to your walk of life and what you know, instead of using your walk of life to invalidate somebody else's. Because why I am speaking is because, again, we have not, as the African Americans, descendants of slaves, we have not gotten that opportunity to heal from what we have been through. Because people who are probably just not wanting to take accountability for their actions and the actions of their ancestors, they don't want to let us speak. They want to continue to try to berate us and try to make us feel down about it, and try to do things in this world that are against us. All of the things that you guys have been voting for or being not against, even if you are against Trump right now, I want to ask you, why were you with him in the first place when he literally is on the Epstein files? He's with Epstein. Epstein was sex trafficking women to Hollywood people. The whole Diddy thing, I saw people posting about Diddy, but were quiet for Trump. And that's what I'm saying. It's not even about these people, because this is a worldly thing right now that I'm talking about. But I really just want to focus on the spiritual, because it's going to keep happening generation after generation if we don't cut it out. If we don't cut it out now, it's just going to keep happening. African Americans have been victimized by this country for the last few centuries, from slavery until now. Because the until now part, past slavery, is the part where y'all won't let us heal from it. And y'all are telling us to heal from it, but every chance we were trying to get to heal from it. How do you truly heal from something like this that we went through? It would have been something like therapy. It would have been something like getting a reset, not having to work. You think they didn't have to work and make a living for themselves? No, they didn't get out of slavery and be like, here's a house for you and your family because you know you worked all of this and we did all these bad things to you. Here, stay in the house and meditate and, heal yourself and unbreak those traumatic processes in your mind and in your body and in your soul. Do that. That's not what happened. They were released. There was all kinds of people, different types of ages. People had kids, and in the black community, we can tell you, we have been victimized by our own people because of the trauma that has trickled down through our DNA. And no, that's not y'all fault that somehow people didn't just automatically think to get healed from it. I don't know. And it's not y'all fault that we're still healing from it, but it is y'all fault that y'all keep on fighting against us having that space and opportunity to heal from it. Y'all want us to work so bad that it's in the place of us getting that good. As a person who actually does need the government assistance that I get, and I'm not using it in a way that's abusing the system, having the expectation and the part of the part that wants you to work and like do stuff. It's not saying, oh, don't work, because I actually do, because I actually do stuff. I'm not saying that I don't, but the expectation and the limit of how much and all that kind of stuff interferes with the way that I'm healing from all of the trauma that I've been through in my life. Not even just on an ancestral level, because that's a whole nother thing. That involves not only just me, it involves every single African American in this country. And if they've moved since then to a different country, it's still in their DNA. It doesn't just change because they went to a different country. Why everyone wants to say go back to Africa then? Cool. Make it free. How y'all gonna make us like what? It doesn't even make sense. And I don't even want to argue, because like I said, it's more of a spiritual thing than a worldly thing, but it's on a worldly level right now. And I hope y'all know that as a person of God, because I am truly blessed and highly favored by God himself, and I don't care who doesn't believe that. It's not for you to believe or not. The actions and everything will speak for itself. The words that I speak will speak for itself. The movement that I make will speak for itself. It is so important right now for y'all to take a break and really understand, because if y'all are not on the right side, y'all are on the wrong side. And kind of like Noah in the ark, I'm saying something's coming, because Brent is saying that what I said about the whole, and pretty soon they'll be taking the black people off the streets and doing stuff to them. Y'all better rise up, because I said that. He's like, that's not happening. Where are you getting your resources from? It's from the spirit. It's from the spirit, because I know history well enough, and it's in my DNA well enough, because I have broke some chains and I have got in touch with ancestors and spiritual things, because I am connected to God, the Almighty of everything, the higher power of everything, the truth of past, present, and future, to be able to discern and prophecy a little bit. It's cold out here. It's definitely fall. My spirit, the ancestors in my blood that I unlocked when I healed from a whole bunch of trauma that I went through back in 2020, when I got connected to God, when I had my spiritual awakening, when I got that salvation, the chains broke, and guess what was unleashed? The DNA that was locked away, the guidance and spiritual guidance that I needed that was locked away generation through my bloodline. My spirit is what's recognizing the fact that the president, because y'all keep trying to make it about you, because he also tried to make it about Trump and Kamala, because I guess he think I'm so for Kamala, when I haven't really said nothing about Kamala other than that I feel like she should have been a good president. She would have been a good president. She was the better candidate if we have to choose between two, because I wasn't just going to sit at home and not do anything and not say anything and not vote against what I thought was worse. Even if I thought one was bad, the other one was bad. One was worse. One was worse. And being able to say, oh, she was for these things. She wanted to let people do these things to their own bodies and stuff that wasn't Christ-like. That's so completely different than a man actually being out there, being the type of person that'll make a person want to go do that. Why do you think people want to go out there and mutilate their genital parts in the first place? Because of all of the sexual predatory trauma that people have been through, and that's embedded in their DNA. It's lots of things going on out there, and if you haven't had to experience any of that, check your privilege at the door. Congratulations, that's awesome. But you need to hear people talk about the parts of the world, because if you don't think that that's where God is at, if you think God is where all of the good stuff is happening, that's not true. God is exactly where the bad things are happening, where people are fighting every single day to try to make it. They do go to work. The work isn't going to actually do anything for them but keep them on a paycheck to paycheck kind of basis. There's so much going on, and that's even worldly, because I really don't even want to talk about that, because I feel like that's you can see it, like, or other people can talk about it. I don't have to talk about every single thing. But on a spiritual level, yes, my spirit is saying that when I read between the lines of what I'm watching and hearing in real time, this president say and do, he's targeting black and brown people. He is targeting black and brown people. That whole Make America Great Again thing, which part are y'all talking about, right? Which part? Because again, the black people haven't had a chance to heal and recuperate from what y'all did to us. And a lot of y'all will probably say, oh, y'all didn't do it because y'all technically did it and we're not physically in shackles right now. But lots of us are. And just because some of us have, by the grace of God, the Almighty God, truly have been able to break those chains and navigate through this matrical man-made system to get up somewhere, that's not everybody's story. So yes, I am advocating for the people out there whose story is still being written in a way that doesn't what am I trying to say with that one? Their stories are being written still downhill. It's not any way up. They have to be able to break those chains, but also we have to give them the opportunity to. We have to give them that leverage. And yes, there are people out there of all walks of life that have power and they abuse the power and they do negative and evil things with it. But that's not the whole entire race. The whole entire race of black people is not that need the government assistance because we have been knocked down this whole time and suppressed and have so many limitations put on us. We're not all abusing the system. And if you're mad that you have to pay taxes because you think your taxes are the ones that are paying for people to do stuff like this, then tell the people up top that you don't want to pay. Tell them you want your taxes to go wherever you want it to go. Then I'm pretty sure your taxes isn't actually the ones that's going to what it's going to. Like literally, that I really don't think that's exactly how it works. That's not exactly how it works. And if you're mad about that, again, the Antichrist, if you think about Antichrist and you think about the words, because we're going to be smart about it, it's Antichrist. Christ is a spiritual thing. You're against the humans. If you're against any kind of human life on this planet, that is Antichrist. That is anti-human. That is anti-God. All of us are God's children. And when y'all hear people crying out saying, hey, actually, we are going through things. We are still experiencing these things. It's not your choice to invalidate our experiences because clearly we are. I am actually a black woman in America. I am African American. I'm a descendant of slavery. Yes, I have been picked on my whole entire life. I have experienced so many bad things. I have watched generations of my own family be victimized by the drugs that were planted in the system and into the communities. I have watched men be stripped away from their families if they weren't able to do certain things. I have watched women have to take care of kids by themselves and work because, again, yes, it has always been a requirement if you have EBT to actually have some type of like hours of work or community service. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't have some type of community service because a good person gonna have that anyway. Normally, naturally. But what I am saying is, why are we having to sacrifice our lives? You think them working 100 hours a week at that, 100 hours a week and having the normal life things happen? Because first of all, everyone should be able to enjoy their life if they have to live it. Y'all want to be pro-choice. Y'all want to make sure that the babies that are conceived are being born, but then y'all don't care how they're actually being treated and have to live in this world, how they're surviving. We didn't ask for this. Lots of us are trying, and a lot of our stuff that we try to do, it's not going anywhere. It doesn't get anywhere, but through the same cycle, and it's tiring. It's tiresome. Tiring. And that's what I am saying, and that is what I am advocating for, and I'll die on this hill if I have to, because I don't know why black people just have to advocate so much to get a movement to make people understand. It's not even to make people understand, because I really don't care if y'all understand. Y'all think God told Noah to make sure everybody understood his spiritual calling of the fact that a flood was coming? No, he had to turn around after he told them and he said that thing. He had to turn around and he had to build the boat and close the door when it was time, when God told him to close the door. And the people that wanted to say, oh, that's not actually happening right now, there's no rain, there's nothing going on, I don't see anybody getting hauled off into things that are African American. I don't see that happening. Actually, if you actually do some research, you can go to Chicago people's videos and see that actually, yes, a lot of black people have been mistaken to be immigrants. A lot of black people have been mistaken to be Mexican, because actually a lot of our DNA are not Mexican, but a lot of our DNA isn't just African. Obviously, the American part is Native American and European. and a whole bunch of other things along the slave trade. Yes, we are mixed people. We are mixed race, so we are African Americans. So again, when I hear Trump say the slave babies and getting rid of the 14th Amendment that made slave babies have citizenship in the United States, and they're talking about getting rid of all of the immigrants, and they're talking about people who aren't going to be citizens of the United States anymore. Yes, my red flag is hearing, as a Black American woman and as a woman who's been through things like this before, that he is strategically telling us, and we have to read between the lines of all of the things that is going on. He's saying in our faces that it's targeting African American people too, or at least that it will trickle down to that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm experiencing, and that's what I've been feeling. That's why God put it in me to have a spiritual awakening 5 years ago and to get back on the right track when worldly things tried to knock me down and keep my spirit down. No, he put me back in this. I wouldn't have a voice to be able to speak these things out if it wasn't true. I wouldn't be so passionate about it if it wasn't true. What do I got to sit up here and lie for? That ain't true. Hi, Uncle Ron. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm just trying to make sure that people that because I wouldn't even be explaining it to y'all if I didn't actually care about y'all, and if I felt like y'all saying something to me or having questions or having a different perspective or not understanding my perspective was an attack on me, I wouldn't even be here to talk about it to y'all. So when I'm saying what I'm saying, I want y'all to know I'm saying it with love, and I'm saying it in hopes that you understand and you kind of get it. But you don't have to, and you don't even have to care, because if you don't like Black people and you don't care about African Americans suffering, then that's fine. That's cool. But I'm an African American woman, and you can get kindly off of my friend list and off of my page and off of anything to do with my life, because if they come for me or if they come for my people, I'm going to stand up for myself and my people. And if you are not the type of person that would stand up for that, then I don't want you to be too close for me, because that's a little bit weird. That's a little bit weird for me. Because I'm talking about myself. I don't care. Kamala is a Jamaican. Kamala is Indian. So I'm not even talking about the presidential election the whole and act like a standpoint and as a point. I don't really care. That's a man-made thing too. I'm really speaking about spirit, and I'm speaking about my own experience, and I see my spirit is a little fearful because I know part of this. It's in my DNA, part of this, and that part of this is getting red flagged and getting brought up right now, and it's not for no reason. God put that in my spirit for a reason, so I'm going to speak about it. Black people didn't get to heal from slavery on a psychological and spiritual and mental and emotional level. None of these years. So right now, when you say Black people are lazy, and when you say that Black people aren't working as hard as they could, we worked a ton of hard work in this lifetime, in these generations through our bloodline. Our blood has so much work in it. And where are we? Still at the bottom, no houses, people looking down on us, telling us that we're the problem, people looking down on us, telling us that we're lazy, like our people wasn't out there getting whipped and building up this country. Like literally, like seriously. It's such a disservice that we have to even have the knowledgeable words to be able to speak it out to the people. I feel like that's such a disservice. I feel like that's such a slap in the face. They didn't even want us to be able to read books. We wouldn't be able to stand up for ourselves. But through the grace of God, I actually am smart. So I can speak about it. I can't articulate it. No one's going to be out here calling me crazy, calling me a spiritual psychosis, saying I have schizophrenia, none of that. I have literally God's blessing on my life. I have God's blessing on my soul. I am connected to Heavenly Father, truly. I am a chosen one, truly. I got that call, truly. I've done the work, truly. I've sacrificed, truly. I've been a good person, truly. So if you want to come on here and say, oh, you're lazy, you need to work and da-da-da-da, and you don't have any kind of service, I do. A lot of us do. A lot of us actually have to service our own people who are really, really down bad. Really down bad because they don't have the salvation in their brains and their mind like we do. So we have to help them a little bit. We got to keep on fighting for them. We got to help. We got to hope that we can speak to them and say these things and they get it. That they can find God, because we can't find God for them. Just because I found God don't mean my mother did, don't mean my father did, don't mean my brothers and sisters did, don't mean my child. Well, actually, I think it does mean a little bit my child, but it doesn't mean that all of them that they have. No, the ancestors that's truly connected to my bloodline that are dead right now, no, I think it means for them. I do believe in the church that I go to, and I do believe a lot of the things that they say. So yes, I do think that I have really truly saved a lot of my ancestors. Gotta make your place a home. You gotta do that.